And I called it 3 times at £275,000 once, at £275,000 twice, for the third and final time. The hammer's up, sir. At £275,000 for the third and final time. You quite sure, sir?
What's it worth?
275 is down below, bid it 280. 280 now, sir. 280.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today you find us at one of my favourite places in the UK, which is, yes, you guessed it, Cheffins Sale Ground, and we're here for the April vintage sale. And what's a bit special about this year is that Cheffins are celebrating 200 years of business, started in 1825 and still going strong, if not stronger, in 2025. The sale this time around is going to take place over 2 days again, and I think that the auctioneer's preamble, I think they said that this is one of the largest sales ever so far. Over 3,500 lots over the next 2 days. So big, in fact, that sale number one, which they split away from the main day on the Saturday to Friday a year or so back, is now actually split into two itself. So we have 6 sales in total, 2 of which are taking place today. So where all the agricultural paperwork, pamphlets, handbooks, manuals, etc., models, signs and general farm bygones and bits and pieces all took place in one sale before, there is now 2 sales today, and only today there is just 1,300 lots just today, and the remainder coming on tomorrow. You can hear in the background that they're still loading in for sales 3, 4, 5 and 6 for tomorrow, and in the background you probably just heard the ice cream van has started up as well. It's very busy, and but it's a nice dry day. It's not too cold, not windy, definitely not wet. So we're going to take a look round. It's nice and quiet in terms of people because tomorrow will be very busy. But we're going to take a look around, see what there is, see what's on offer this year, and join us for the ride. And I hope you enjoy the video. Quite a lot of engines in. A couple of interesting things. There's a John Deere there, but there is a lot of listers. A lot of listers. It's almost like somebody's collection of listers. There's 4 in a row straight away. One with a pump. 4 listed Ds in a row, varying states of repair. None of them look like they're run. One looks like it's been in the bottom of the lake. A couple of patches. Remains of a D, I think. As always, there's plenty of engines here. This is just a small snapshot. This is just the start. Not many look like they run. A lot of them look like they've come out of barns. Maybe older restorations. But I think you can call it these are all projects. I think would be a good description.
15 number to 50 bid, 15 number to 50 pound a bid, that's 16 number to 60 pound bid, 16 number to 60 pound, 16 number to 60 pound is online here, that's 16 number to 60 pound a bid, 16 number to 60 pound e-ball, that's 16 number to 60 pound a bid, 16 number to 60 pound a bid, that's 16 now 70 bid, thank you, 70 pound a bid, you bidder, that's 70, 80 number to 80 pound, 80 now 90 bid, 90 number to 90 pound, make it 100 now, at 100 now at 100 pound a bid, 100 now at 100 pound a bid, at 100 pound a bid, 100 pound a bid, it's online at 100, at 100 now at 100 pound a bid, bidding's out in the field, at 100 pounds, selling online, last chance of the way they need up, at 100 pounds. £100 is not me, surely. £50 to get on them. 20 say it, 20. 10 is all a bit. 10 number to 10, 10 number to 10 pound a bit, 10 number to 10, 10 number to 10 pound a bit. That's 10 number to 10 pound a bit. Hit a sell, 10 number to 10 pound a bit, 10, 20 bit, 20 number to 20, 30 bit. That's 30 number to 30 pound a bit, 30 number to 30 pound a bit, 30 number to 30 pound a bit. That's 30 number to 30 pound a bit, number to 50 pound a bit. Selling with a touch in a way, then hammers up. Last chance on this at £50. Russell Halsey there in the cage, ready on to be on that one then. £100 for it, £100. 50 pound a bid, start me, 15 number to 50 pound a bid, 50 need, 50 bid, 50 number to 50 pound a bid, 50 number to 50 pound a bid, at 50 number to 50 pound a bid, 60 bid, 60 now, 60 pound, 70 bid, 70 number to 70 pound a bid, at 70 bid, 70 number to 70 pound a bid, 70 pound in the field here at 70 pound a bid, at 70 number to 70 pound a bid, 70 number to 70 you done, at 70 pound with the original bidder, hammers up, last chance on the way then you done, at 70, you'll thank you, and the number, here we go, turn 3D, starting handle with it. Had a professionally overhauled fuel pump and injector, and we got some parts in the office for it. There we go, nice little example for you there. What it'll be, a couple hundred shortly for it. 200, 200, 200, 150, 100, 100 pound a bid, 100 now, 100 pound a bid, 100 now, but 100 pound a bid. Not, it's not you. 100 now, but 100 pound a bid, 100 now, but 100 pound a bid, 100 now, but 100 pound a bid, 120 pound a bid, 120. Seen enough on the way then, quite sure, and finish here at 120 pounds. 7,000. Anybody else coming in here? That's 7,000 pounds. 7,000 for the gardener. Last chance on it. The hammer's up. That's 7,000 pounds. Quite sure and done. And finish here at 7,000 pounds.
Lister after lister, and then a couple of Wolseys. Different varying sizes. Certainly pay your money, take your choice. Looking for a project, there's plenty on. One thing I'm definitely interested in is this Perkins P6. I think it's probably come out of the combine at some point in its life. If not, maybe running some kind of industrial thing. I'm pretty certain it's seized up, but there's lots of bits with it, including the pump and quite a few injectors, control boxes, and the idea of what I want to do with one of these is put it into a Ferguson conversion. Whether that's possible or not, I don't know. But first of all, you've got to get the engine. We'll see what that means.
Pulls the bar out your hand and goes.
Andrew Wood was down the other day, you know, what are you doing?
Who? Andrew Wood? Oh, yes,
I say a lot of these look like they are not runners. They've been dragged out of barns. Nothing's been fired up that I can hear so far, so I was here yesterday because I brought some stuff of my own, so nothing's been fired up that I can tell.
Can't unload here, I suppose the tractors are going in the...
But if you've got the time and the space and the inclination, there's an engine for everybody, I would say. I constantly question when I come to vintage sales, wherever they might be, and of course Cheffins isn't the only one in the country, this is one of the biggest, and I just I'm happen to live close by, but I constantly question, where does all this stuff come from? I mean, I'm not going to go down the whole rows of everything. You get an idea. I'll do a little bit, but this is the yard in the back. This is all tractor spares and bygones. I mean, it's absolutely huge. There is hundreds and hundreds of lots in here, and it just keeps coming year after year. And remember, they do this 3 times a year, plus any farm sales that they might do. It is just absolutely enormous. We'll just take a run down and you can get a bit of an idea, a bit of a flavour of what we've got on offer here. A very nice forge there. They make nice money, they do. People seem to like those. The very, very dangerous Allen scythe. There's 2 of those. You'd never get away with that today with health and safety, would you? That would not attain a CE mark. Highly dangerous. Which of course most agricultural equipment is highly dangerous. Its very nature is what it's got to do: chop and cut and mash stuff. Tools. Look at this. Pallets and pallets of tools. All redundant now. All these tools. 2 more Allen scythes. 2 more Allen scythes. 4. 2 here, 2 up there. But yeah, all these tools, all redundant. All these tools would have been used by labourers in the fields back in the beginning of the 20th century up to that point, before mechanisation became a real thing, or a common thing I should say. If you want a roller mill, crikey, you've got your pick there. You've got a stationary engine and you want to put some work through it. Howard rotavator, big mowers. Nice trolley there, that looks good. Looks like you can put a horse between the shafts on the trolley. Rather modern contrived seat from a barrel. Little trap, pony trap. This is something my partner likes, terracotta pots. I've got my eye on those. We'll see what they make. They seem to make silly money as well. And some very nice trestles, I do like those too. Nice walk behind hoes and seeders and things. Got an allotment and you've got plenty of seeds to put in. Saves you back braking when you're bending over putting them in. Just use a push behind seeder and a hoe. Sack lifter, very nice Atco mower there. I don't know the age of that. That's a pretty early one I would suggest. That's a very nice anvil stand. Now I have an anvil, but I don't have a stand to put it on. That might be interesting. Pig feeder. Concrete troughs. Milk churns. The list goes on and on. And if you're in the market for lucky dip, those galvanised stroke zinc wash tubs, that alone on its own would make 100 quid. If you pay 100 quid for the whole pallet, you've already got a bargain. Anyone's guess what's in those boxes. That's a humongous anvil on there. That will make quite a lot of money, that one. That's a nice little anvil there on a nice stand. That's about the size of the one I've got, which is the only thing I need really. I don't need anything bigger than that. But anvils tend to make so much money. I can't believe how much money anvils make. I know they're heavy, but you don't buy them to scrap them, you buy them to use them. These are some fantastic cast iron troughs, absolutely glorious. The trouble with cast iron troughs is they tend to get broken if they're abused. But these are absolutely fantastic. And this one's complete with plants. This one's full of lavender. It's even got its original maker's plate on it. What a fantastic thing that is. You need something for the garden. There's a few more. Now that's a very unusual wheel horse garden tractor. I don't know my wheel horses very well, but I would suggest that's pretty rare because it looks rather old and it looks like it's also got a plough with it as well. And a spare engine even. In fact, 2 spare engines. It's definitely one for the collectors.
740 online. 760 in the field. Come back online, push that button again. I've got 760 in the field at £760. I'm bid now at 760. At 760, 780. 780. I've got 780 in the field, sorry. £780 I've got. 800. 800 online. He's out. 800 I've got online, coming back, sir. 800 in online I sell. At £800 I bid now. You've seen enough. £20. 820 at £820 on bid. Push that button again at 820 on bid. At £820 on bid now at 820, 840 at £840. At £840 on bid now at 840. You've seen enough in the field then. I sell at £840. Another tenner. 3086.
Some very old lawnmowers, again, all barn find stuff. Cricket pitch mower and looks like a cricket pitch roller. There's some tanks and buckets. There's some winnow-in machines. Basically blow chaff off the grain. gives you clean grain, clean seed. And we're going to some modern mowers now. Whole mixture of stuff: lamp posts, lamps, rat traps, pig feeders, sack barrow, or sack lifter, sorry, modern slide, don't know why that's here. A really lovely big engine crane. I've got 2 of those at home, so it'll be interesting to see what they're worth. You can always find in auctions the true value of something. Yes, I know you have to have 2 people that want it, but generally an auction will give you true value. What is somebody prepared to pay? On the open market, the only way you really find out is at an auction. And if you've got stuff at home that is in the auction, gives you a fairly good idea of what it's worth. A nice power hacksaw there, which is also single phase. Very useful. I could do with one of those, but unfortunately I don't have the room for that at the moment. There's a metal shear. Again, I've got one of those, so let's just see what it makes. And there's a huge guillotine there. So that's done nice work for quite a while, that one. And where the heck would you put it? Some big old iron railings. Nice paint cabinet. A very nice old lathe. Don't know how accurate it would be, but yeah, nonetheless, interesting lot. Oil tank, big winch or a crane that will go on the back of your breaker truck, I suppose. A safe, I bet that weighs a ton.
Gauge strapped away, so that's where it starts at. And then all that sort of
yeah, and of course anything and everything, boxes of rusty nails, bolts that have had buckets full of water and bolts inside. Not much more than scrap there, I should think, unless you're prepared to go through the whole lot and figure out what there is and clean it all up. And a load of 56-pound weights with some link arms. A bit bizarre, but hey, nonetheless. Well, what a massive amount of tools, equipment and bygones. Over in the implements section, we've got every plough pretty much you can think of. Start with a 3-furrow Massey reversible. Next to that we've got a Ferguson butterfly plough, which effectively is also a reversible plough. It was their solution on reversible ploughs at the time. Single furrow but deep digger, because it's got some really deep boards, and you need a, a powerful Ferguson tractor to pull that. Diesel Ferguson probably. It goes on the back of the T20, so only a small outfit, but nonetheless you don't want to put that through some heavy ground, that would make it grunt. Interesting looking, possibly a headland plough maybe, not quite sure, but again another deep digger, single. Looks like that's been cobbled together to make up a plough in the past, many years ago. Another reversible plough. Can't see the plate on it, so I'm not entirely sure of the make, but there's an awful lot of adjustment on that one. You can see, look at the adjustment on both the boards and the skimmers and the knives. Interesting thing. Huge boards on it. Horse plough. This is a disc plough, so disc ploughs were used to break up virgin ground. That's what they were really used for in continental areas, Africa and Asia and South America, when they were breaking scrub down and things like that. Very interesting. It's what's called a gallows plough. I've not seen one of those before. It's clearly come from some kind of museum, I would guess. A ride-on plough. That's an interesting looking thing. Again, Lots of levers and things to and pedals and things to keep that running true. Let me go behind my car probably. It's quite a nice plough, but I'm not in the market for ploughs today. There's a pull along plough if you're feeling strong. 3 Furrow Ford Ransoms. To the back of a Fordson Major. David Brown, I think, maybe International. Let's have a quick look. International, 2 Furrow mounted. Another Ransoms 3 Furrow. There's an, I think, a headland plough. Unusual offset plough. Always get a lot of Ransoms ploughs, of course, because they were very prolific plough builders in the first half of the, well, most of the 20th century. And of course Ferguson ploughs, they're 10 a penny they are. Some of them are good, some of them not so. Nice big semi-digger trailer plough. This is a 3 Furrow Ferguson, and I know that because it's mine. I'm selling it because it's a bit too big for our Fergie. And now I've got a 2 Furrow plough, I've decided to get rid of this. So we'll see what that makes. I know what I paid for it, and I haven't done anything to it except use it and then grease it. So it's missing its discs because it had some really good discs on it which I can use on the other plough I've got, because the discs on the other plough are not in great shape. So yeah, I took the discs off it, but everything else is good on this. It's even got an added width lever to change the crossbar orientation. So we'll see what that makes. That'll be up tomorrow. A couple more Ransoms mounted ploughs. A couple of Fergie ploughs, one after the other. That one looks like it's all seized up, which it is, yep. Ransoms reversible. There's some big ploughs here, a lot of Ransoms. Nice Fergie, nicely shone up, that one. That's a later one with a width bar on it, adjustable. But yeah, you want to go ploughing this autumn, get to Cheffins, buy a plough, buy a tractor, relatively cheap per hobby. Buy the book. I've just seen a book, Good Ploughing, printed or published by Ransoms in 1945, just sold in sale number 1, £150 for the book. So that bit's not cheap, but relatively, if you want to plough, this is a place to come.
Hammers up and away then, lost chance on these and away then finished at 280. Oh, thank you. Is 282, and on to 2481. So it was 2481. 2 for a plough, the Fergie plough there. 2481, there we go. The Perseverance Martian Foundry, there we go. Then when you're on this one, nice example for you. Where it's got me up around 300 for it. 300, 300, 300, 250. Well, 200 pound a bit, thank you. 200 number 2 on bid. 200 number 200 is on me here at 200 number 200 pound a bit. At 200 number 200, it's got the 20 now, 220, 220, 350 pound a bit, 350 number 350. Any more coming in at the way than you done. Right, so I'll finish it at 350 pounds. We need a bit more on that, I'm afraid. Come and have a word with us about that. Lot 2482, too far right on plough here. Where do you want to be on this one then? Put me a couple of hundred again for it. 200 is on me. 200 pound online. 200 number to 200 pound a bit. 200 number to 2 on bid online. At 200, 220, 220, 220, 220, 240, 260, 260, 280, 280, 280, 300 pound a bid. At 300 number to 3 bid. At 400 number to 400 pound a bid. 400 number to 400. Last chance on it then. At 400 number to 400. Seen it up and away then. Quite short and done. And finish here at 400 pounds. Need a little more there. Lot 2486, there we go, International 2 Furrow, There we go, a couple hundred for this again, 200 for it.
Yes, sir.
200 online, 200, 3 online, 300 number, 3 on bid, 300, 320, 320, 320, 350, 350, 380, 380 bid, 380, at 380 pound a bid, 380, 400 pound bid, 400, 420, 420, at 420, 500 pound bid, at 500 number, 500 pound online, 500 pound a bid, at 500 number, 500 pound bid, 500 number, 500 pound a bid, at 500 number, 500, 500 number, 500, all coming in on this, at 500 number, 500, the bidding's online, at 500 number, 500, all out in the field here, at 500, hammers up and I sell, last chance of the weight on it, at 500 pounds, online and queue.
2721.
100 pound a bid, 100 pound a bid, 100 pound a bid, 100 now, 100 pound a bid, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 180 pound here, 180 bid, 180 now, 180 on bid, at 180 pound a bid, 180, 180, any more coming in here, 180 pound a bid with you here, at 180 pound a bid, 180 now, 180, send it up then, at 180 I sell right in front here and away then, hammers up, last chance, at 180, your second pound is all a bid, 40 number to 40, 50 online, 50, 60 bid, 60 number to 60 pound a bid, at 60 number to 60 pound, 60 bid, 100 online, 100 number to 100 pound a bid, at 100 number to 100 pound, 110, 110 number to 110 a bid, 110, at 110 number to 110 online, 110 number to 110 a bid, at 110 number to 110, 110, 120, 120 number to 120 bid, 120 number to 120, 130, 130 number to 130, 130, 130 bid, at 130 number to 130, 130 number to 130 a bid, at 130 number to 130 bid, 130 still online here, at 130 number to 130, number to 130 bid, all out in the field, at 130 pound, last chance of the way then, selling online, hammers up and down at 130.
2756.
And lot 24.95, Fergie 3 furrow. The Fergie 3 furrow mounted plough, there we go then. Restart for you, where do you want to be? Throw it in £100 surely, £100 for it surely. £100, 100 to get on surely. 180, £50 to start me then surely.
Yes.
£50 away, 50 number to 50, 60 bid, £60, 70 bid, £70, 80 bid, 90 bid, £90, 100. 110, 120, 120, number to 120 down here, at 120, number to 120, bid 120, number to 120 on the right here, at 120, number to 120, bid 120, number to 120, 120, number to 120, any more in front, at 120, number to 120, bid 120, number to 120, bid, at 120, sell right-handed, at £120, last chance of the way then you done, at 120, done at 120, and your number?
And of course we've got a selection of other implements as well. All of these things, you know, you've got a tractor, you can put some of these things behind for rally events, so it's nice if you've got a vintage tractor, it's nice to have something to go with it. And yeah, it's always you know, it's a bit boring, I find, that, you know, you just take your tractor and you stick it on a grassy field and people take pictures of it and say, oh, isn't that a nice tractor? They were built to work, they're built to be used. So, you know, I think it's a good idea, even if you just get like this Fergie you know, dump box here, even if you get something like that, it sort of adds to the exhibit, I think. And we've got a few more ploughs coming up. There's all sorts to choose from. All sorts to choose from, and it gives, you know, people that don't know, it gives people the you know, it gives people an idea of what these things were built for, and you know, you can make a feature out of the implement. I mean, these are ridging bodies for potatoes. There's actually a potato setter there, manual one. Saw benches, they're a bit dangerous to take to rallies, but yeah, it's good to have something to tow behind. Yeah, and I know as well you've got the added problem of getting it to the rally, especially if it's something big. But you don't have to buy a big tractor. You know, you buy an Alice B. You've got a little you know, you've got a little a walk behind hoe or something. I don't know. All sorts. There's all sorts. You can see from the video here, and you know, all the lots that I'm showing you. There's so much stuff, so much to choose from, and it just adds to the exhibit, and I think it adds to a bit of the fun as well of owning something that you can actually take to a working rally in the autumn, or some summer rallies do have working events where you can just play with the thing, learn how to use it. And we're not just talking agricultural implements as well, because this road grader, Adams Road Patrol number 4. I mean, what a fantastic thing. This was before you had a self-propelled grader that would grade pathways, roadways, pavements, etc. This would be towed behind a tractor, usually a crawler, something with some heavy grunt that's going to pull it. And a guy would sit on the back and adjust the height and the rake of the blade to give you the desired road planing effect for what you need to make it nice and smooth. That is in absolutely excellent condition. Again, looks like it's been in a barn. Actually looks like it might have done some work not that long ago. A little bit of sort of fairly new rust on there, so maybe it's done something. It's been greased and looked after by the look of it. Really like that. Unfortunately I don't have the use for one, so it's going to have to stay there. Very nice binder. Looks like all the canvases. The trouble with binders is a lot of them, the canvases, the actual bits that make the corn go up and down the elevator, the canvases make up the elevator and they feed the binder. It cuts the stalks. Stalks fall onto the canvases and then it gets elevated up into the binder and out the back spits a sheave. That is in very nice condition, that one. And this strange looking contraption is what's called a hay sweep. And this would be mounted either on the back of a tractor, but sometimes also on the front with a special frame attached to the tractor, where you cut your hay and people in the field would turn the hay with forks, but when it came to actually putting it into a rick, what they would do was they would sweep it up with this huge rake, and the hay would then be swept up to the corner of the field where your farm hands would then fork the hay up into a rick, and then it would be stored for winter, and it would all be thatched to stop the rain getting in, and your hay would be safe for the winter, for winter feed. There's a few modern bits. It's just turbo mower here, that's modern. Oh, I'd say modern, 70s, 80s maybe. Ferguson saw bench. Another Ferguson piece of equipment. I think that is, oh, it's a hammer mill. Okay, so that's going to be on the back of the Ferguson. Belt driven, I think. Yeah, it's even got the pulley there and the belt drive pulley in there. That's specifically designed to fit the Ferguson tractor and the Ferguson system, and that would then be used to grind corn or hammer corn. Potato slicer, a couple of toolbars, one with solid tines and a spring tine. Quite a lot of harrows I've noticed. I'm in the market for some harrows, but not really today. There's a big set of spring tines there. Yeah, a couple of chain harrows. It's the whipple tree that I want, the actual bar that goes along the front to go with my big harrows for my part par. But I think they're going to have to stay there. Now, as I said already, there's an absolutely humongous amount of tractor spares and wheels. Now, there's not, from what I can tell, a huge amount of unusual stuff. We'll just take a walk down the line to see what we can see. But it's all pretty standard Ford, Ferguson, David Brown, regular sort of, usual suspects, if you like. There's a few bits of interesting stuff, but certainly if you need bits for a Ford 4600, then, certainly come. Tyres, brand new tyres there. There's some nice tyres there that would go on the back of my Fergie, the right sort of size. Some Ferguson wings, there's quite a few of those. Some front wheels, all sorts of new tyres. Nice greasing bucket there. Rims. If you're in the market for a Ford Force nose cone, there's two of those. I would suspect those are reproduction. I don't know if they're reproduction or whether you can refurb them, or what you can do, whether you can buy those like that. Bits of engine, Fordson major radiator. More Ferguson wings. They're certainly better than the ones on our Ferguson, but they're going to stay there for today. Back end of a Ferguson over there, that's quite interesting. If you've got an engine to fit on that, wheels are easy to get. Engine, front axle, easy to get. There's your startings of a restoration project. All sorts of plough bits, a couple of tanks for Fordson Majors. A lot of Fordson stuff, as there always is. Fordson Major, E27N parts. Always, if you've got a Fordson E27N, there's a fair few still out there which are still in hedgerows. If you've got half of a Fordson, and there's the rest of it. Fordson Major and Fordson Dexter tanks, Massey Ferguson tanks, John Deere wheels and Ford weights. There's a Ferguson pulley to go on the back of a Ferguson tractor. More Ford stuff. Yeah, there's plenty of Ford stuff. Ford and Ferguson. All sorts of bits. Glass is always a good thing to get. Always gets broken, doesn't it? Lucky Dip. Lucky Dip again, magnetos. Trouble is, you buy a box of magnetos, you're going to spend 500 quid getting it repaired. But it might be useful to somebody that repairs them, and there's some spare parts. Range Rover wheels, Land Rover parts in there, job lot. That's giving me an idea, because I've got a job lot of Land Rover parts. Maybe I need to sell them. Series 1 doors. If you know what you're looking for, and you know what you're looking at, then there's possibly some bargains to be had. And I know what that is. That is a bonnet for an Oliver 70. And the reason I know that is because obviously I have an Oliver 70. I wonder if that is an original. Let's have a quick look at this. I think that could be an original. If that's original, that's pretty rare to end up like this. Well, that is interesting. Okay. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I can feel another sale coming on. You know, I think that's an original one. I might be wrong. I think you get the idea. There's so many spares, and a lot of them have got Ford written on them. But just walking around, I've seen some stuff. I've already spent some money today. Oh dear, oh dear. And the trouble with this place is it does tend to bring your money out of your pocket. There's some interesting bits, but there's a lot of, they'll make a lot of money. Those are Land Rover hoops for canvas back for a Land Rover. And it looks like it's for a full tilt because it's got all of the cab brackets that go on front of the cab. This is a bit that goes on the front, top of the cab above the doors. So that's for a full tilt, short wheelbase. And tailgate chains as well. Everything. They'll make a lot of money. Everybody wants them. Nice big Perkins 6-cylinder, straight 6 diesel. Modern one, 6354 maybe, something like that. And how's that for a supercharger? Look at the size of that. That is a supercharger and a half, isn't it? Wow. It says Ford 6-cylinder diesel engine. Well, certainly the cylinder head is off a Ford 6-cylinder, but I'm not sure what the supercharger's out of. But that is absolutely massive. What a massive, massive supercharger. Jeez. And there you go. That's all your tractor spares. Tons and tons of stuff. I love it.
248, lots of 5-4s. The die cost of fancy aircraft models again. There we go. Could be 50 pound this time. 50. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 10 on video, 10 pound an hour. 10 up to 15. 15 up to 15, 20 minutes, 25. 25, 30 minutes, 30 minutes up to 35, 35, 35. 35 up to 40, 40 minutes, 45, 45. 45 up to 50 minutes, 50 up to 50, 50, 60 minutes. side. 20 pounds, 20 pounds, 25. 25, 30 minutes, 30 pounds, 30 minutes, 30 pounds, 30 minutes. The rookie round 5. 20 pounds, 30 minutes, 35, sir, 35, that's 40. 40, that's 40 minutes, 40, that's 40 pounds, 40 minutes. On this time, we're there. 40 down there, 40 pounds in the room, down there. At 40, somewhere around 50 again, 50. 10, 5, 5, 10, 15, 15, that's 50 pounds, 15, that's 50, that's 20 minutes, 20 now. 20 now, 20 pounds, 20 minutes. On it goes there. At 25, 30, sir, 30 again, 30, 30, 30. Then original box, that's a nice in there for you. We're going to be 50 pounds, 20, 50. 25, 30, 25, 25, 25, over there, 35, 30 minutes, 30, 30 now, 30, 35, 35, 35, 35, over there, 35, 35, on the way there, at 35, 35, 40 minutes, 40 now, 40 minutes, 40 now, let's run this side, at 40 now, 45, on the way there, at 45, 30 minutes, 30 now, 30 now, over there, 30 now, 30, 35, 40, at 40 now, 40 minutes, 40 minutes.
I won't talk too much while we're through here because there's a sale going on, sale number 1. But feast your eyes on these fantastic motorcycles. Some commission, some barn find. Again, something for everybody. If you're into motorcycles and you're local to Cambridge, Cheffins is certainly a place to come and indulge your passion for motorcycles, all sorts.
Lot 279 is the Ford 8210 track version.
Yamaha trike complete with trailer. And right at the far end we got some push bikes as well. Looking to set up an ice cream stall. Couldn't go far wrong. Bit of liquor paint. People love ice cream. I think they make a killing. And keep fit at the same time, but the sugar that's in the ice cream.
V5670K. Lot 280 is the Ford implement brochures, where we go that 20, 20 pounds shortly off, 20. 20 pound here, 20 pound here, 20, at 20 pound here, 20 here, 20, at 20 pound here, 20 here, 20, at 25, 25, 25, 30 pound here, 30, 35 where, at 30 pound here, 30, at 30 pound for 30, 30 pound 30, at 30, you can hide if you want to the house, at this time away, at 30 pounds, same way, yeah. Lot 281 is the McCormick and International manuals, where we're going to be for that, put me on £40 shortly, 40, 45, you wanted a £30 bid, £30 bid, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, at £35 bid, £35 bid, 35, at £35 bid, £40 bid, then 40, at £40 bid, 40, at 40, at £40 bid, 40, at £40 bid, 40, 40, at 40, at 40, with money.
Ultimate MGB, MGR V8. 3.9 EFI engine in it, Rover V8 of course.
This time away at £40. 282 is the Howard Motivator Lecture, Literature and Manuals, where we're going to be for that. Put me in 50, 50, 50, 20 and shortly 20. £10 to get on, 10, 10, 10. £10 a bid, £10 a bid, £10. £5, 10, 10 pound on for first at 10, at 15, at 15, at 15 against you, sir, at £15 a bid, at 15, at 15, at 15 a bid, £15 at 15, at £15 a bid, at 15, at 15 a bid, at 15, at 15, loses out there, at £15, at £15. Being 20 still on, 20, £20 short. 10, 10 pound gone, 10, just in time at 20, at £20 at 20, at £20 a bid, 20 to 20, at £20 a bid, you're allowed to £20 at 20.
So we've actually got 3 Toyota Hiluxes here in the words of the great Top Gear team, can you ever kill a Hilux? Well, if you did, you've got three to choose from here. 2002, 1993, and the one that we're going to come to in a second, about 1997. All in very good condition. Doesn't appear to be any rust or rot on any of them. Really lovely. Subaru Impreza WRX. Now, I don't know much about Subaru Imprezas. I know there's lots of different ones, and there's the really good ones, and then there's the poor man's ones. That's about as much as I know. But nonetheless, a really lovely looking Subaru Impreza, 16 plate, so what, 9 years old? 2016. Looks in really good condition. And somebody has just tried to get into the Continental Bentley yet again. They just set off the alarm. So we'll wait for that to go off before we go over and look at that. But yeah, a really nice Subaru Impreza. And we just walk around the back of the Toyotas. If you want a really nice Hilux, this white one is absolutely spot on condition by the look of it. The chassis looks really, really straight. Really looked after, it's hardly done any work. 64,000 miles. A nice little workhorse. Lovely tonneau cover on the back, on the pickup bed. Really nice. I suspect they will command a fair amount of cash to buy one of these. And this is the other Hilux, R-Reg, so about 96, 97. It says 2006 on there. It's not a 2006 if it's R-Reg. That's wrong. Unless, of course, it's had, yeah, of course, it's had a private plate put on it, R444JRP. So yeah, sorry, 2006. It does actually look more modern with that rounded front end. Out of them, I think I prefer the K-Reg one. I like the squarer look. But I've never really been into Japanese vehicles, Japanese cars. But the Hilux, that'd be a nice tool to have, wouldn't it? But I do like that K-Reg. A couple of Beamers, E30 318i, 4-door, 1987, 1988, 1988 E-Reg. Very nice condition. And behind that is a recently recommissioned 330D, year 2000 X-Reg. Quite low mileage, I believe. Paintwork's in really nice condition. It's just had a brand new M2 put on it in February 2024, and it's been off the road for about 11 years and stored undercover, dry stored, etc, etc. Got a nice set of tyres on it. Don't know the mileage exactly. One owner from new though, so I can tell you that. But the interior, I know you probably can't see that, but the interior is actually in really nice condition. We're in the market for a 330D BMW saloon. Probably be quite a good buy, I would imagine. Poor man's 911 Boxster. Boxster S. Not a great fan of the Boxster. I don't really like the shape of it very much. Personally, I do like a 911. But yeah, Boxster, not really me, I'm afraid. And we've got a 2005 Bentley Continental, and that is an absolute beast of a car. And people keep setting the alarm off because they keep trying to open the doors. Every time they touch it, it goes off. But these are nice cars, definitely. And probably not that expensive, really. It's 2004. think it said on the 2005. There you go. So it's a 54 plate. September 2004 through to March 2005. And my prize for patina of the day has got to be this Morris 10 van, 1939, original condition. Just feast your eyes and take a look at the condition of this van. Sign written, which I think has been changed in the past, but even so, the sign writing that's on it is still period. What an absolute glory. What a fantastic vehicle. It's suffering a little bit with the old rust along the bottom edges of the rear doors, but hey, look at it. And when you open the inside, have a look inside, and I tell you, this smells absolutely fantastic. This smells exactly like it should. What a lovely, lovely period van. Beautiful, beautiful condition. You wouldn't want to mess around with this. Definitely not restorable or not for restoration. This is definitely for renovation. Keep it as it is. Absolutely beautiful. The only thing I don't like very much is the mastic that's been put around the wheel fenders there. That's a little bit of a shame. But nonetheless, what a beautiful little van. Take that to rallies, enjoy that. Only one driving seat. You have to put some seats in the back if you want to take the family. And only ever needed, or only ever had, one driver, because it's only ever got one wiper blade for the driver. There's nothing for a passenger. It was purely for delivery. That's what it did, and that's how it stayed. Absolutely fantastic. So number 6 is the main tractor event. Commercials, classic cars, and all vintage tractors, and a couple of steamers. And we've got 1972 Range Rover, 2-door, 72 being an early one, came out in 1970, and yeah, ripe for restoration I think. Gone in all the usual places. Tailgate, probably the chassis, probably the door hinges. Now this side's okay. It's got all the interior with it, hasn't got a rear seat mind. But if you're in the market for an original Mark 1 Range Rover, I think this door's gone. Oh yeah. A-post has all gone completely. All the interiors there, it's even got its original book with it when it was sold in the dealership. So it's got a little bit of history. Original Ross style wheels on it. But the big downside, it's got an EFI engine in, which is not what it would have had in 1972. It would have been carburetors with Strombergs or SUs on it. Rover V8 nonetheless. Same as every other 70s car, they ride like there was no tomorrow. Ford Popular, nice little car there. Bit of damage on the front wing. Not ideal, but not the end of the world. Decent interior. Pretty decent all round, to be fair. See what she's like inside. Yeah, door frame's alright. It's got a leak though, because there's all water in the bottom. So something's leaking. It's got a fairly original interior, looks pretty decent. Door just about shut.
Okay. Well, that lazy, you know.
Ford Prefect. Huge nose. And a tiny little engine inside. Decent condition though. Doubt that it'll make a lot of money. Wartime cars aren't making much at all really. People are not really interested. Nice condition inside, unmarked Bakelite. Dashboard. Pretty good. Smells right as well. It smells really nice. Yeah, not a bad little buy that one, I would have thought. Yeah. It's a big 130 high capacity pickup, crew cab job. 2003 Discovery. Probably Discovery 2, I think. .110 Defender station wagon. Looks in fair condition. F-Reg 1988. That sort of period. Amber lights on it. Nice little tow vehicle with a family and a dog in the back. Smith's electric. Well, it's effectively an electric cart, but bigger than a milk float. Actually, Blue Peter outside broadcast. So that's got some stories to tell, if you know what Blue Peter is. And if you're into Land Rovers and you like lightweights, interesting machines, built for the military of course, and now they're all been decommissioned and they're all in the public domain. Off-roaders, fun buggies, you name it. There's a fair chance this had been fitted with a V8 because it's got an LPG conversion on it. So to try and get a bit more efficiency out of the V8, you fitted LPG.
Yeah, you can't get worse than that.
It's actually a Ford V6 rather than the Rover V8 version. Similar to what's in my Capri. Popular conversion for lightweights and Series 1s as well, as it happens. And talking of Series 1s, we've got what looks like fairly straight restoration project, Series 1. But I've looked at this already and I know that it's got a 2.25 litre engine in it, so it's got the wrong engine. Which is not the end of the world, but it all looks pretty complete. It's been sat and not really loved very much, but nonetheless, that'd probably make a bit of money. Series 1s always do well. But certainly a project, someone started the nut and bolt restoration, you've just got to finish it. C-Reg, big Peugeot saloon car. Used to remember these on the road, don't see them anymore now. It's 505 GTI. Big car that. Big family car from back in the day. Interior's a bit cobwebby, a bit dirty, but actually doesn't look too bad at all. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Bit manky and mouldy. Nothing a good clean-up wouldn't hurt. Presumably it's got a sunroof, which leaks. So you'd have that to think about. Two Morris Minor Travellers with the wood frame at the back. A blue one and a green one. All look fairly original condition. Interior's seen better days. This one smells pretty manky, I have to say. Yeah, this smells like a skip. I'm not a huge fan of Omni Minors. They're okay. This one's a 1967 version. Nice, really nice number plate, JCF 40E. Actually, get an MOT on this, you could transfer that plate quite easily. That'd be worth buying just for the plate. This one's 1969, 70, anything I think about it. HJK, yeah, 69, something like that. 1970. Not such a desirable plate, that one. So the trouble with Moggy Miners is the ash frame. This one's got woodworm, so that's had it, that's done in. And this one's been repaired because of the rot. So that also would need a complete new frame. People make them now from scratch. Let's have a look, see what's inside. Well, this is slightly better condition in this one, being it's older though, so you'd sort of think, but the seats are certainly better. Backs look better. It smells a lot better than that other one. Yeah, this would be worth getting an MOT on and getting that number plate off. Actually, I'm not even sure you can do that these days, can you? Because these are MOT exempt now, of course they are. Can you even do what we used to be able to do and just transfer a number plate off of a car? Back in the earlier days when private plates were a real prestigious thing to have, you could just get an old car and transfer the plate, and then they changed the rules. You get it off tractors and all sorts, and then they changed the rules, so you had to have a car with an MOT, and the car you were transferring it from had to have an MOT, otherwise they wouldn't recognise it, it wasn't allowed. So I'm not sure about that. Anyway, that's the final ones of the classic cars. We've got the commercials coming up.
22 is the Range Rover, the V8. There we go. No VAT. Showing a nice restoration project there for you. What do we say for this one then? Put me in. Where are we going to be? Range Rover, V8 petrol, 2-door, 1972. Where are we going to be? £1,000 for it, surely. £1,000, 800. It's got to go, ladies and gentlemen. Two, thank you, sir. Same to you at 200 a bit down and 2 up there. At 2, down to 200. 50, 250, sir. 250, 300 now. 300, 350, there to 350. 350, down to 350. £350 is right. 100 done there. 1200, sir. At 1200 a bit. At 1200 pound, another 50 if you want it. At 1200 a bit there to 12. It goes online then. At 1200 pound, I'll be there to 12 a bit. 50 not. Fair warning done then. At £1,200 online, 1200. It's on now. At £800 on bid here, 8 on bid. The bid is online. You're out on the field, ladies and gentlemen. At £800 on bid here, 8 on bid. £800 on bid here, 800. At £800 on bid here, 8 on bid. The hammer's up big quick if you want it now then. And he goes this time of the way then. At £800 online, 800. 697. 7 a bid there to £7,000. I got there to 7 bid now. At £7,000 on bid, to 7. At £7,000 on bid there to 7 a bid. Hammer's up and done then. At £7,000. Not quite on that one, I'm afraid. Yes, 5,000 a bid. 5,000 a bid there to 5 a bid. At £5,000 we sell now. At £5,000 I got there to 5 a bid. At £5,000 on bid there to 5,000. At 5,000 a bid there to 5,000 a bid. At £5,000 I sell on the telephone then. Fair warning done then. At £5,000. Your man said 5,000, 1,050, 1,100 here, at 1,100, 1,100, 1,150, 1,150, 1,200 here, 1,200 man at 1,250 bid, at 1,250 now 30, 30 now 1350, 14, 14, 14, 50, 1,500 bid, 1,500 pound on bid at 1,500, 1,500 pound on bid at 1,500 bid, it's left down and sold then at £1,500. Yes, sir. £2,000 I got there to 2 on bid at £2,000. The hammer's up this time of the way then at £2,000. Pound on bid at 50 to bid. The hammer's up. It sells online at £1,500. That's gone. 1,500. 350. One more on now at 350 bid at 350. 350 now 350. 350. 4 if you want it at 350 bid at 350. Hammer's up and done then at £350.
Don't know a huge amount about commercial lorries. Only the things that we see out on the road. Big Thames trader there. Unimog. Lovely Scania. That's got a short body on it. So it's a rigid with a short body. That looks like that's some kind of event vehicle. I'm not sure what that is all about. ERF tractor unit. An Atkinson tractor unit. And another ERF on the end.
What better day can you get the man you standing here today?
A big ERF 8-legger chassis, rigid, with a Gardner engine in. I don't know if I can get a view of that, but I do love a Gardner engine. What a fabulous piece of engineering that is. That's quite a thing. Bit of a beast though. You've got to be really into your lorries to get that, I would say. BT tractor unit, Leyland. 7 Atkinson military fifth wheel tractor unit. ERS fairground wagon. Another ERF. Quite a few ERFs in this time around. This one's a flatbed. Just 2 axle front and back. Just a lost in flatbed box side. Foden. It's a high level flatbed though. It really sits across. I think it might be a tipper actually. Is it a tipper? No, it's not a tipper. It's just got a high level bed on it. And then we've got an ERF flatbed with another gardener in. And then we've got a Foden single axle chassis. Last of the commercial vehicles, we've got 2 steamers, Foden steam wagon. Looks like a timber tractor with a short back. Now I followed this in yesterday, it was steamed here. Only doing about 10 miles an hour though, but not very fast for one of these. But nonetheless, I'm sure they didn't want to stress it out. It'd be interesting to see if it sells, because steam's not doing that well at the moment, especially big steam. Miniature steam, which is easier to handle, is making more money. And then finally we've got this lovely Sentinel flatbed, which is really lovely condition actually. Again, it'd be interesting to see what it makes. Just from the point of view of are they holding their value, because steam really seems to be dropping off a bit. The trouble with steam engines is you've got to run the things, and every time you fire it you lose a bit more money, because you're putting coal in it and water, and you're putting lubrication oil in it, which is all lost. You know, a total loss system, all costs money, and of course every time you boil the water in the boiler a little bit more wastage occurs. So really a steam engine is a wasting asset, because eventually in 25-30 years time you need a new boiler.
3,500 a bid at 2.5. Just look at what you buy. 3, thank you, sir. 3,000 a bid at 3,000. At 3,000, I have there at 3,000 a bid. At 3,000. At 3, that's 3.2 we take. At 3.2, 3.5, sir. 3.4 we're up to. 3.4, 6 where now? At 3.4 I'm bid here at 3.4, but we sell today at 3,400 a bid at 3.4. 3.4 up at 3.4. At 3.4 I'm bid at 3.4. There's 6 if you want it. At 3,400 a bid at 3.4. 3.4 up at 3.4. At 3.4 you're quite sure, sir. At 3.4 this is no money. At 3.4, at 3,400 bid at 3.4, but we have to sell it today. At 3,400 bid at 3.4. 3.4 up at 3.4. Don't go home disappointed. At 3.4, at 3,400 bid at 3.4. 3.4 up at 3.4, but I sell online, ladies and gentlemen. Fair warning. At 3,400 pound. The hammers have I done this time of the way then. At 3.4, online it goes. There we go. A well restored, well-known collector as well. There we go. We've sold this before. You can probably guess where it's come from. There we go, but a meticulously restored example, the OB short wheelbase tipper, lovely example, very well presented, no VAT. Some round, how'd you value it? 8,000 for it surely, 8.5. 4 I can take online here, we go, £4,000 straight in here at 4,000 a bit, then at 4 I'm in, up at £4,000 at 4.2, 4.2, 4.2, 4.5, 4.5, 4.8, 4.8 up at 4.8, 5,000 bid, sir, at 5,000 bid, then at 5.2, 5.2, 5.5, at 7.2 I'm bid here at 7.2, hammers up this time, at 7,200 a bit, then at 7.2, you lose it this time, right then, at 7.2,
They got roller, they do about 6.
£4,000 a bid, then at 4,000, at 4,000 I got there to 4 a bid, hammers up now, at 4,000 I got there to 4 a bid, you lose again then, at £4,000. £1,000 sell down below then. At £2,000 I got there to 1,000 bid. This not here and selling. At £1,000 only bid there to 1 bid. The hammers haven't done then. Fair warning. At £1,000. We are very, very grateful for the vendors for consigning these steam engines into this sale. We start here with a 1928, the Foden D-type. Timber tractor, you'll have seen it on social media. It was steamed to the sale from just down the road, so thank you very much to friends of the family who steamed it and drove it to the sale. You've seen the social media, fantastic coverage, and a real privilege to see it steaming into the sale ground, and a lovely example, a lovely original example with great history and provenance, on the well-known and loved in the eastern counties. This engine, you've seen it at many shows and rallies. It's got a new boiler and barrel and front tube plate in 2019. and virtually unused since then. So got a brand new current boiler certificate, and the next hydraulic test. So you're buying an in-steam D-type. How do you value this one, ladies and gentlemen? No VAT. Where we're going to be? You start me. Put me in some round. Where we're going to be? 250,000 for it, surely. 250. 200,000 pounds, surely, ladies and gentlemen. 200,000. I'm in your hands. 150, thank you, sir. 150,000 pound. I got there. 150 left there and here. At 150,000 pound, I'll take fives now. At 150,000 pound, 275,000 pound. It's down below here now. At 275,000 now. At 275,000, sir. At 275,000 now. Is it 80 or not?
I know about it.
At 275,000 pound. I'll call it 3 times. At 275,000 pound once. At 275,000 pounds twice. For the third and final time. The hammer's up, sir. At 275,000 pounds for the third and final time. You quite sure, sir?
What's it
At
worth?
275, it's down below, finish 280. 280 now, sir.
6%.
280.
5%.
285. At 285, thank you, sir. At 285. At 285,000 now, sir. 285.
You're the leather
At 285,000 pounds. This will be sold today. At 285,000 now. At 285,000 pounds. Look at me if you want it, sir. 285,000. At 285,000 pounds. I'll call it 3 times again. At 285,000 pounds once. At 285,000 pounds twice. The hammer's up, sir. At 285,000 pounds for the third and final time. Let me know. At 285,000 pounds. The hammer's up and I sell there below then. At 285,000 pounds. That's sold. 285,000. Well done, gentlemen. Thank you very much.